Good morning, my dear. I've brought some food and a blanket for you. Did you sleep well? I see. I suppose I would have trouble sleeping in a cold, dark place like this, too. Oh, yes. I had enough time to cook you a proper meal today. Hyde seemed quite content to wait until I was done before taking over. I don't know what you said to him, but he seems to have a soft spot for you.
My ears are burning, dear Jekyll. Is someone talking about me?
Ugh, what now, Hyde?
My, such venom. I thought hatred was what made me an animal. You still don't see how alike we are?
We are nothing alike, monster. And no matter how much you say the opposite, it will not change that fact. I may feel hatred, but my heart is also full of compassion, love, and hope. It's what makes me human. But yours, your heart is rotten and decayed, carrying only hatred. You cannot love, and that is what makes you less than human, less than me.
Yes. Well, as much as I enjoy our little chats, I'm afraid I'm not here for you. I want to have a little chat with our lovely new friend here. So be a good little Jekyll and leave us.
Ugh, monster.
Goodbye, Jekyll. Sorry you had to see that, my sweet. Mummy and Daddy are fighting again. In truth, the Doctor is becoming far harder to reason with now that I have control of the majority of our brain. Oh well, soon we won't have to worry about him anymore. You see, my sweet, I've realized something about our little sessions we have together. You know the ones. I tie you up, draw out your inner self, look into my eyes, the whole 9 yards. Yes, well, although it's only had a very limited effect on yourself, it seems to be far more successful with our dear Doctor. You see, we very recently got into one of our usual debates about the morality of my mission, and as usual the debate turned heated. Now normally the argument would end with Jekyll taking control and throwing a punch at our own face. I know, talk about cutting off your nose to spite your face. But do you know what he did this time? Nothing. Jekyll could only sit and watch as I remained in full control of our body. It's true, soon Jekyll will be gone, and I can focus all my efforts on purifying the world, and it's all thanks to you. My sweet, you are my greatest ally, and as such, you have my undying respect. Furthermore, What's that? Let you go? My sweet, why would I do that? You freed me, and now I can do that for you too. Although I don't yet know how the inner self destroys the mask, I know that together we can discover the secret. Rest up, my sweet. I am going to prepare for our next session. I have a good feeling this will be the last for both your mask and our dear Jekyll. You hear that, Jekyll? Our dance is almost over, but it's time for you to face the music. my dear. It's Jekyll.
We don't have much time. You have to wake up. Quickly now, before Hyde realizes what's going on. I'm getting you out of here, but we have to go now. I can already feel Hyde beginning to stir. Come, follow me. Oh, right. I suppose I should explain how this is possible. I realized I was no longer in a position to fight Hyde head-on, so I decided to try my hand at some deception. For the last few weeks, I've pretended to be significantly weaker than I actually am, waiting for Hyde to lower his guard. Well, after his chat with you, Hyde worked himself to the point of exhaustion preparing for tomorrow's session. As predicted, he fell asleep at his desk, and I took control. Now I'm using all my power to suppress him and keep him under the mask, as he calls it. Although right now I'm so weak that the mask is acting less like a wall, keeping him suppressed, and more like a blanket, muffling his senses so he doesn't wake up. But we don't have long. Alright, here we are. The dungeon leads straight up into my study. From here, our quickest exit will be through the laboratory. It's down the hall to the left. Come on, let's go. It's nothing. Come on. Forgive the old-fashioned decor. Before I bought this place, this old manor was home to a rather wealthy family, and had been for the last 600 years. I believe it was originally created for an ancient royal family, to be passed down from father to son. For generations, this place raised the future kings of the land, until one day the cycle was broken, when the king's only son vanished. The king, so racked with grief, gave the house to one of his advisors and removed all mention of it from the history books. When I arrived, it just felt wrong to change any of the design. The manor had spent countless centuries without so much as a new coat of paint, almost as if the moment the cycle was broken, this place was frozen in time. At least that's how I like to think of it. In reality, it's probably just down to steady design, no exposure to the elements, and proper care. Either way, I think it's quite... It's Hyde. He knows something's wrong. We have to hurry. Quickly now. Get to the lab and out the side door. Don't worry about me. Just... go! It's locked. No. It can't be. It can't be. I unlocked it this morning. Hyde was asleep. He couldn't have known. He couldn't have. Hyde's coming. Run right there.
Jekyll, by now you know you can't resist me any longer. Why bother fighting anymore? What were you planning?
Hyde, listen to me.
You? My sweet. You're working with him?
It's not what it looks like. We were just trying to help them escape.
Enough! I tire of your lies, Jekyll. You say you're a symbol of good, yet you've done nothing but plot and lie and scheme to murder me. And yet you expect me to believe you when you say you both weren't planning my demise. Ha! And you, how dare you? I opened up to you, shared what I am with you. I thought you were like me. But all it took was a few honeyed words from that Jekyll to make everything I shared with you meaningless. You're just like him. All that promise gone to waste. Oh well, There's always next time.
Hyde, no, you can't.
Stay out of this, Jekyll. You just what? Want to give me another condescending speech about how rotten my soul is? How utterly beyond saving I am? That I'm nothing more than a monster? And where do you think you're going, my sweet?
Hyde, let go of the neck. If you and I really are the same, then you can't do this. Not because you're not strong enough, but because of what you feel for them. You care, Hyde, so much so that you won't hurt them.
You always called me a monster. Well, my dear Jekyll, let me show you how right you are. Go.
Hyde, thank you. I guess we aren't so different after all.